So let's get into it, honey, because I can't with this story.
You can't.
I cannot.
And I did, so I apologize.
Well, let's get into it. So you met her.
I met her on OkCupid. Lovely dating apps.
What is that?
You swipe left, you swipe right.
Okay. And what happened after that?
We matched and we talked, and then it got to exchanging of pictures and then talking about meeting up.
Okay, but you're exchanging pictures for what? I mean, are you trying to
It was,
like, let me know.
It was pictures of puppies. Nah, just kidding. It was pictures. Eventually got to like naked body pictures, penis pictures. You know.
So this was sex. So
Yes.
you were looking for sex.
Essentially.
Okay, and then.
And then we agreed to go to the gay pride parade together.
Okay, fabulous. Have you been to one before?
Yeah, I had been, and it was her first. So this was her first time going. So we agreed to do this, thought it would be fun, rendezvous after, sort of thing.
Fabulous. Okay. So you get to the Pride Festival, you're having a good time. Mm-hmm. Are you into her?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're feeling it. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I am feeling her.
Good. Sure. Why?
I'm feeling her because she was playful. Everything that had ensued when we were talking, the sort of chemistry you thought you felt was there. And it was just fun. We were doing risque stuff in front of everybody while beads are flying and people are walking around in like angel wings and stuff. It was really cool.
So she's giving energy to you.
Yeah.
You're liking it. You're into her.
Absolutely.
Okay, so where does it go left? I'm confused.
For sure.
Why does it go left?
It goes left. We decide to go get food afterwards at this like burger joint that's not too far away, right?
Okay.
So we get food, and this is the moment of truth moment for me personally, because as the order is being tallied and I'm about to pay, it's not the price that I'm worried about, but it's what does she do here? Does she kind of just look around, look away? Does she just kind of wait for someone to pay her way? And it's just something I make a note of. So when came time to pay, of course, she's just kind of like standing there. I'm just like, all right, this is where I fit the bill for it. So this
Can I stop you? 1 second.
Yeah.
Who initiated this date?
I did.
So you initiated to meet her at a Pride Festival. Where is this at again?
This is in San Diego.
So you're in Cali.
Right.
West Coast vibe. Mm-hmm. Got it. So casual, I assume. You're in San Diego, hanging out. Mm-hmm. You initiate the date.
More agreed, but yeah, more or less. I'll say that I did.
Okay. So we get to this, you're having a good time, she's sexy, you're into her, but you're checking for her to offer to pay for the food.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, where does that come from?
It comes from, I think, a long time in a lot of the women that I dated, and a lot of the women that say that they don't need a man or that they're independent and that they got all of this. They've got all of this, but then when it comes to actually going out on a date, it's always expected, and at least in my case, it always was, you're expected to fit the bill for everything, all the time. At this point on, now that we're together, this is the expectation, is you pay for everything.
And can I ask, do you have a problem with that? Is that
I do.
Why?
Because I don't mind paying for things. I don't mind meeting you halfway on things, but I don't want to be the breadwinner for someone throughout the rest of my life. Like, I don't want to just be constantly having to pay someone's way for things all the time. I work for myself. I work to get things done. I'm assuming you do too, that if you don't need me, then you don't need me to do everything for you.
Sure.
So it was a trigger. It was like a trigger moment in that, like, this is kind of how it's going to go from now on, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. But you said that you liked this girl before you went onto this date. So part of liking someone, you want to sway them, correct?
I do.
So why wasn't, in that moment, you're going to this thing that you both said that you wanted to go to, why in that moment weren't you thinking, I really want to impress this girl. I want to, show up because I like her. I want her to know that I like you.
Well, in a way, I feel like it was already established, and I already felt like that was kind of what was given. We were already here. And there was clearly an expectation that it was going to go further after this was all said and done. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know how much more I needed to do necessarily. And like I said, I don't mind. It's just kind of one of those things I keep in the back of my mind when going forward.
It's broke to me.
Oh.
Wow. No, I'm coming. Listen. At the end of the day, why are you dating and you're checking for somebody's money or to offer?
Because I don't want to go broke. Because I don't want the reason I go broke is because I am fitting the bill for everything.
For how much is the tab?
This particular tab was $60.
Child. So you gonna go broke off of $60?
See, no.
Hold on now.
It's not.
$60 and this is you gonna put broke into this?
But 60 times what? Like 365, 200?
So get into it, Alicia.
So you look at it more when you approach dating in general. You look at it more than just that first date. So what is this going to bring me?
It's calculated. It's not just this one moment. It's, okay, can I see this like over, like, is this going to be happening again? Like, are we doing this again? Are we meeting going forward? Is this going to be something that continues? It's not, for me anyway, it's not just this one moment and this one moment alone. Like, I'm thinking beyond that.
How does this make sense?
Right, but this was this first moment you had with this woman,
it was.
right? So she's not your past experiences.
No.
But you brought that into
But that
this
was,
first date.
yeah.
Right.
So is that projection? Like, what is that?
100%. It's projection.
But why are you, so what happened to you that you're projecting onto her that you won't treat her with kindness? Because this is a kind gesture to me. So where are we, like, I'm just confused of like what happened to you that's a trigger?
What happened to me is, let's just go with like each and every time I've gone on a date. Because it's not like I've gone on millions. I'll be upfront about that right away. Like haven't gone on millions.
Can I just pause 1 second too
Yeah.
and ask a question in that same notion? Relationships. How many relationships had you had prior to this date?
I would say honestly, like serious relationship, one.
Okay.
Like
You
one.
don't even
serious
have the
relationship.
fucking experience
I know.
to have this, like,
She said it before I said it.
you literally, like, I'm hearing, like, this is what I hear. I hear that you connect on an app, you meet up a beautiful woman, anticipation of sex, so there's a physical thing there. And you don't even have the reference point to say, I can't treat a woman this way. I can't do this. You don't even have the experience of it.
Well, but I argue that I've gone on or gone out or hung out with enough girls to know what I do want and what I don't
Do you
want.
date girls or women? I'm confused.
And also, a relationship and dating are two different
Do
things.
you date girls or women? I'm confused.
I'd like to think I date women. But
So why
clearly I date
are you
girls.
calling us girls?
It's just something that comes out. It's not something that I mean in a derogatory way, but it's like if you were to say boy to somebody, like when
Yeah,
joke
then
around
you
or
check
when
it, then
say
you
something.
like, why are you calling me a boy?
No, I wouldn't. It's just, like I said, I don't give much.
Why?
Why would I? What does that mean? I'm not taking it literally. If you treat me like a boy, that's one thing. But if you just saying boy, like boy, what's up? Like, it's slang, it's bullshitting, it's just talking. That's the way I throw it out.
So
It's
you
not,
don't put so much emphasis on vocabulary towards either sex.
No, unless somebody were to say, don't call me that.
Okay.
All right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand how you get to the point of you mad because she didn't offer to pay. That's what I'm trying to understand.
I'm mad because it was, to me, like you said, it was, and in hindsight, it was wrong, but it was a rerun of what you guys had just said. Like, this is what's to be expected now going forward from every other date that I've gone on and every other person. So was it unfair? Yeah, for sure. But that was literally what sprung to my mind in that very instance.
What is your expectation?
Now I don't have an expectation, but then it's like, at least offer or at least meet me halfway on this.
Okay. Do you feel like that's a level of support in the dating zone?
Yeah.
That they're also saying, hey, let's do this. Let's
Or
do
that, yeah, this is not all on you.
But do you
all the
think
time.
you're even worthy of that?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Because I know what I'm going to put into this when I bring this. Like,
But if I show up on a date with you and you're already checking for me to pay or offer, I don't even know what you're gonna offer me.
It's just the gesture. It's not like I'm expecting you to.
So that's a contradiction. If that's the gesture, then have the gesture to be kind to me and pay for the fucking tab.
Yeah, which I'm prepared to do,
But
which
you're
I'm going to do.
But you have an attitude because you're questioning if she's even fucking paying it, which means you're not coming from a genuine place.
Well,
Are
it
you
just
not?
told
Are
me
you not?
it-
The question is, are you coming from a genuine place or not?
No.
No, it sounds
Then
like,
what are we talking about?
sounds like more ego.
That's a
in that
problem.
moment.
Thank you. Get into it, Alicia.
It sounds like more ego in that
Get
moment
into it, Alicia.
and more of your past history, which you said repeatedly. I recognize that, yes, my pattern of dating, I've dated these women and they have this expectation to pay every last one of the dates that we have together. To me, I don't feel fully supported that way. I can't grow with someone that way. Okay, and those are real things. So I would actually question the people you're dating. Are you even talking about those values up front? Like, what are the emphasis that you really care about? What are the emphasis that she cares about? Because everybody's different. The way you think, the way you think, the way I think, it's different. And the way we communicate those differences, they have to be met. Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
You do?
I do.
Good. I'm glad you
Honestly,
you agree.
That was a thought that hadn't even occurred to me at the time. Like I said, communicating about what I want, I should say, wasn't something I was always really good at.
And what do you want? Do you even know what you want?
If you were asking me then, probably not. At sex. You know what I mean? Primarily sex.
So let's dive into that.
Please.
So he said sex. They spoke about it on the app. Sex. So did you feel that you were comfortable enough to disrespect her on that level because you only looked at her for pussy anyway?
Shit.
She's laying down the facts.
go.
She's laying down the facts right there.
Yeah, that's 100 because the thing is, had you really looked at her for anything else other than pussy, then I feel like you wouldn't have come out your mouth that way.
No, I probably wouldn't have. And that's just the truth.
That's sad, man. It's fucking... All right, let's move on. So, she's not offering to pay the tab. What happens?
I
can't.
I just shut down. I was just okay.
Tell me, I want to see it. What did you do?
I shut down. Literally, you could see my face right now. I'm okay, this isn't happening. I don't want this to happen right now.
Because the gesture wasn't there. Just because the gesture.
It just turned me off. It just totally turned me off. And I was just I think I'm good.
And then what happened?
Right, you turned off. What happened?
So what happened? We were leaving. We're about to catch a Lyft or an Uber. And
Now, who's paying for that?
me.
Okay.
All right.
Me.
Okay.
Me.
Okay. Look, take a drink. Let's salute to that. Okay.
Ceremonial.
Yeah, salute to the drink right now. Okay.
Paid to the Uber, yep.
Making this shit celebratory. And I paid for the one on the way there in case you wanted
Fantastic.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad you came out your pocket for the fucking Uber to there. Let's go. But you want to fuck me.
He had the Uber covered.
Okay. What is it? 40 fucking bucks, if that? Anyway, keep going.
Man. Anyway.
What happened on the date?
I just fucking lost my train of thought. So then the conversation sort of went to so we're about to have a good time. And then she kind of saw my mannerisms in my body. And it was she was aren't we? And I was just
So did you step away from her? You just kind of...
I didn't step away, but like I said, it was just kind of written on my body. Whereas before I was kind of reciprocating and kind of into it. I was just I don't think this is gonna happen. And what ensued from that point was...
What happened? Yeah, how she handled that? Because I know for me, get the fuck out of here. I'm showing you energy. I'm about to have sex with you. We're about to hang out. Honestly, you could have gotten more from me had you paid for that tab. It really could have been a moment. We really could have oh my God, he's taking care of me. We're having a good time.
Which was the furthest thing from my mind.
This was the furthest thing from your mind.
At that time, it wasn't even something that occurred to me.
Okay, so your body language shows, I'm not into it, I'm done with you. She does what?
So then I say I don't think I want to go through with this anymore. And from that point on, she had a breakdown, full on breakdown. It was...
She was hurt.
Crying, then she was confused, then she was upset, and then she was okay, then she was crying again. It was...
This is the first date?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
This is heavy for our first date. This is a little heavy.
This is almost 2 years in.
Some type of she may have been treated like this before, I assume. Why would she react such in a severe way?
She definitely seems a little bit emotionally...
I don't know. I just know that it was a lot. And I was just what the hell did I do? So,
I do have a question on that. So at any moment, you see this breakdown. She's crying, I assume, whatever. There's no compassion or empathy from your end?
Well, no, in my head, it's fuck. But outwardly, it's come on. I wasn't...
Time out there.
Go ahead, Alicia.
Why was your first thought fuck?
Because,
why wasn't it why are you
because
crying?
you know
How
what?
can I help you?
It wasn't, because my intention
Doesn't
wasn't to make her go through, no. My intention wasn't to make her go through all that. I didn't want her to feel that bad or feel that way.
Sense.
It may not make sense. Like I said, it's contradictory, yeah, but like I wasn't trying to make her break down and cry and just go through an episode. It was just.
But that's a mean fuck. You're literally like, I'm done with you because you're not paying for a $60 tab.
And mind you,
now you're like, oh, I didn't mean for you to feel this way. Is that narcissist? What is that?
A little bit of narcissism that could be. But I honestly believe that a lot of this is your background. Like, what is hurting you from your background other than these dates that you're saying, I have to pay for them and all this stuff. But there's something more there that when a female is crying in front of you and in pain, either physical or mental pain, why aren't you showing up for her?
Speak, Alicia.
Why aren't you showing up?
Speak.
Because at that time, I guess you don't want to take ownership for what you did. Like you don't want to.
Like we all.
You don't want to acknowledge that you put her in this place.
So you get defensive.
Sure.
That's your guard.
And
right?
of course, you try to find a way to fix it or absolve it somehow. But it's just like what? Okay, like avert crisis. What do I do? Not necessarily. Wow, like, whoops, or okay, like, I'm sorry, what did I do?
Yeah.
So it was me trying to fix it, not trying to at least sack up and say like, okay, yeah, I messed up.
Okay. All right. So she's crying. She's in the street, I guess.
No, we're together. We're waiting for the lift. Damn. So I just went ahead. So this is what I did. So this is what I did. I then decided to walk off and leave. Yeah, no. Jesus Christ.
That's what it's giving to me.
I was saying, God damn, this is a picture that's being painted right now. God.
So you're inside.
So we're still waiting for the car to get there. The car gets there, takes us back to my place. We go to my place and she was like, can I just have a minute to like cool down? Like to cool down, come down from this. And I'm like, yeah, take as much time as you need. You can hang in my bedroom, you can hang out here, whatever you want. It's just like whatever would help this.
Can I time you there?
Sure.
In the story. So she has this emotional moment. You are in defensive in that moment, but you guys still proceed to go back to your place.
She asked, because I was ready. I thought she had parked her car there, so I was ready for her. Okay. I was ready for her to like just leave or just say she was gonna leave, but she asked if she could stay. And like I said, after giving what she just went through, I was like, yeah, you can say like, I'm not gonna just be cruel.
Can I raise a point? Okay, so you had enough empathy to say, I see you crying.
Yeah.
I see you need a moment. But where was that empathy earlier when you were just on a date, you guys were hanging out, and you expected her to pay? And
I was in my feelings, so it wasn't quite there.
So it's about you.
Yeah,
it's about you.
Right, it wasn't quite there.
Okay, got it. All right, so we're in the house now. Okay, and so what's happening in this house now?
She goes to my bedroom. She puts on one of my shirts and she just hangs out in the front.
Is she still crying and upset in this moment?
She is coming down, but she's still somewhat upset. Like she's still kind of upset, but at least it's kind of gravitating towards civil conversation now, and it's a little bit calmer. But she's still like having moments where she's kind of like crying. So like I'm just making sure, one, like that she's okay before she leaves, but at the same time it's like okay so that like I don't feel bad that she leaves and she gets in a car accident or heaven forbid something happens.
Okay. So you had a concern there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
then?
And I was, but I'm not gonna lie, I was also ready for her to leave at that point.
Oh, so you were in that moment.
But I didn't say that, and like I said, I kind of brought this on myself. So it's like I'm gonna go ahead and fit the bill for it.
Okay. And then so what happened?
Eventually so do you want me to cut to it, or do you want me to
How does it happen?
I'm trying to understand.
Eventually we have sex more than once.
Stop it right now. So you literally fuck her.
Wait a minute.
Wait, hold on. Let me just process this.
Go ahead.
You don't want to pay. Or you're checking to make sure. Because it all goes back to that for me, honey.
Right.
It all goes back to that.
I was like, not that I don't want to.
The gesture.
Not that I don't want to.
Right? The gesture didn't happen.
It's the gesture. But you still have sex with her.
But you like the sex gesture.
So that was good. So we're okay with
that was
that.
not a problem. And it wasn't a problem for her too. So I want to pause here too. I want to say
Facts.
this whole date
Facts.
to me seems like two hurt people who don't know what's going on here, right?
Speak
and
it.
if you bring two hurt people and try to make it heal when there's no point of healing, that's the type of date you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So let's
all over the place.
So I love that. So let's get into that for a second before we finish this, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, we gotta finish this.
We gotta finish that. But I want to get into that for a second because, okay, so there's two hurt people, right?
Yeah.
He's hurting, she's hurting, whatever, past, whatever. We all. How would he have recognized in her that she's unhealthy? Or maybe he can't recognize it because he's unhealthy. I'm not sure. How does that work?
Well, that definitely wouldn't just happen on the first date,
Sure,
right? It
yeah.
takes time for you to really understand anybody. I mean, think about it. There's marriages out there and two spouses don't even know who they are. Right?
COVID showed that.
100%, 100%.
Yeah.
And the thing is that that question would have to be answered after a couple dates, after a couple of series of dates, and meeting, maybe possibly meeting their family, see where they come from, see what their triggers might be. Those are important assets and values in a relationship that I honestly feel that we totally got away from. Like, why aren't we taking the time to get to know these people, get to know their background so you understand them fully versus just being like, oh yeah, she's got a good pussy, I'll fuck her, and she looks good.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, oh, well, she tried to offer for this date. Those things, when you're in a relationship, those are like the last of your concerns. You know what I mean? How is this person showing up for you consistently on a daily basis? Do they support the needs that you have? Because everybody's needs are different, right?
But from my understanding, he's not even on the fucking app for that. You just on there for sex, I assume. Did you, like, my thing is, when you sign up on a dating app and you put in your name and what you're looking, are you going on there to say, like, I'm looking to fuck somebody, or am I really
It's a combination.
It's a combination.
It's a combination of things, because sometimes it's not always just one thing. I find that I actually go on there, genuinely go on there, like I actually put effort into it, because you know what, I'm in hopes of meeting someone, like in hopes of meeting something that turns into something. But there are times where when you connect with someone on there, you kind of know where this is going, or you know, like, okay, if I can get it in, I'll get it in. But it's not exclusively because I just want sex when I'm on there. It's to kind of see what's out there and to also see how we fit, but to ultimately to connect.
So let me ask you this. Now I'm about to be a little messy here.
Let's do it.
I'm about to be a little messy.
A little?
So
We're here to mediate.
Will you?
I'm about to be a little messy.
It's like, should I start leading?
So I know we didn't, obviously we met because of this, right? I wanted to talk to you, right? Would you have treated me like that?
You mean like on a dating app? Like if we'd have just...
Would you have treated me the way you treated her at that Pride Festival?
Now, if me then?
Yeah.
Me then?
Yeah, at that moment, would you have
Me
treated me
then?
like that?
Put it this way. My feelings towards things would have been there. So yeah, if I had, I mean, and it
So
probably would
anybody's
have ended
catching
well.
that smoke.
Right.
It doesn't matter if she's older, younger, money, no money, kids, no kids, you don't care.
Well, no money would be one thing, but she wasn't no money.
Okay.
So I'm saying like
had
no money was it wasn't that. Like no money, it's like, yeah, okay, what are you expecting?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she doesn't have any, so I know that this is happening. But then like when you have it, it was kind of like, okay, I just want to see like what's she gonna do here.
Like a test.
Yes.
To see if you're worthy.
Right.
But how are you worthy? And I say this respectfully.
Right. No, for sure.
But how are you worthy and you're not even showing the kindness and empathy that we women truly love and look for in a relationship? If I'm going on a date and I like this man, and it may not even work out, right? We may not even like each other in person. But where's your kindness to be like, this is a human being who showed up for me. We're having a meal. I got you. Are you not a kind person?
And to go back to like the first part of the question, which was like, you know, what makes you think you're worthy? Like, I think you have to go into it thinking that you are. Like, I can't think, like, it's not that it's a lack of humbleness or a lack of arriving in a way that says like, you know, I'm not above you, but it's also knowing that like, you know what you bring to the table, you know what you're prepared to do. Like, I know what I'm prepared to do in something like this. And like, that includes fitting the bill for a vacation or for a meal or for something like that, because that's what I'm ready to give in doing something like this, if I like you and if it's good enough. So having said that, it's like, yeah, I know what I'm bringing to the table. What exactly are you bringing to the table? Like I said, in hindsight, yeah, it may take more than one date for you to get that from somebody because you know what, it's an opening up process in that. So like I get that now. But at the same time, it's almost like this is kind of what I can expect. So it just kind of put me in a different headspace at the time. Like,
How long ago was this?
this was 8 years ago.
Okay.
So this was 8 years
There's
ago.
growth there.
I was just going to ask, where do you think from that moment, right? Because there have been times in this conversation you're like, well, back then I thought that way. Back then. Where are you at now?
Now, in the instance of like, let's just say, okay, we go on a date.
Sure.
Especially if I'm asking you out for it, it's like, okay, so basically I'm asking for your time. I'm asking you to show up, to like give me the time of day to at least hear me or at least have a discussion with me. The least I can do is, like I said, make it worth your while somehow or another. So it's a little bit different now. So I'm not expecting anything. And like going into things now, I don't think I expect much of anything going in. So I'm happy to do this, you know, and if whatever happens after that, like if we agree to do this again, then it's like, then maybe I'll kind of keep an eye on things a little bit. But at the same time, it's like, you go into this knowing that you asked for their time, you asked for their attention. So what are you offering in exchange for that?
So you recognize you were wrong.
Yes.
You take ownership of that.
Yeah.
Which is great
That's
because there
big.
are a lot of people, and I just say men because that's what I'm dating.
Right.
And most men that I've experienced will not take ownership. They will not say, yeah, I was projecting, I was a narcissist, I was wrong, whatever. They may not even realize it. But for the fact that you have some type of awareness that's saying, yeah, I was a fuckboy. Like,
It was a total fuckboy move. Like I could sit here honestly and say that now and looking back on it. And like I would never wish to do something like that to anyone. Like I would never want to make anyone feel like they were discarded or that they weren't worth anything, especially on account of, like I said, something that I felt internally. But to kind of go back to like, to give you context, what you were saying about men you date, a lot of women that I've experienced and I've encountered, they just want to be treated on a pedestal and have, you know, the guy basically be the literal coat over the puddle so that they could just walk over, do whatever, see whatever, have everything fitted for, everything paid for, and not do nothing. And like there are women that want that. And it's like, you know what, for men that want to do that, cool. I'm just not one of those guys.
so my question is that a problem? I'm just asking.
It's a problem for me.
Okay.
I can't,
Now, why
'cause like
is
I
it a
said,
problem for you?
For me, because I want to be met. I want a partnership with someone. I don't want someone that's expecting me to do everything and handle everything.
And how are
for
you
them.
showing that?
I show that by, first of all, like now offering to do something for you, showing
is
up,
just basic.
arriving.
Isn't that, I'm sorry, you're giving, it's
Well, it's a
giving
start.
mid, sure, it's a start, but okay. While I don't want to say you're a man here, well, I don't like that, but you're the man here. And at the end of the day, I don't care how far we have come. You're a man. You're going to be paid more than me. I won't go there. That's real shit. You're going to be paid more than me. You're going to be respected, even as a black man, if that's what you identify as. As a black woman, you will be respected more than me. So for the fact that I'm sitting here hearing like, oh, now all of a sudden I have empathy. It's like, but at the start, as a black woman, I'm already the least disrespected person. Why wouldn't you treat me as the queen that I am and that I deserve?
It's something we take for granted. Like it really is. It's
That's
not something,
crazy.
but it's the truth.
And it's
something.
hurtful.
You know what I'm hearing though right
Yeah,
now? A lot?
yeah.
Pain.
It's pain. It's
painful.
painful.
Pain. A black woman who's
Yes.
always, right?
Yeah.
Always always disrespected,
Yep.
disregarded
Yep.
over and over again.
Yep.
In our history, right?
By black men.
By black man and by
And everyone else.
Everybody else in society, right?
Yes.
Black men often don't get to express themselves because you're looking like you're less than. You're not able to express your emotion or your hurt. So you got people who are hurt that
Yes.
aren't able to express it, right?
Because I'm coming from a hurt. Like when you
Right.
hear me say that about a
You
black
feel it.
woman,
You feel
you
it.
feel
You
my
feel it.
energy.
Yes.
It is a level of hurt that honestly both of you wouldn't understand. But you, as a black man, I would think would say, I got you.
Right.
I get that. I understand that. But I'm fighting with you. I'm literally sitting here trying to explain to you while not paying for a $60 tab is a fuckboy move and it's a problem. And that's the conversation I want to have. Because as a woman, as I have explained,
And as a black woman.
as a black woman, I'm gonna pull up for you. I'm pulling up for you.
And in my experience, that I haven't gotten that. Like everything you say you bring to the table and you offering, that's not what I've been on the
So then
receiving
who are
end of.
you then? Which is fair, right?
Because it's
they're-
like for someone that's
Yeah.
gonna pull up, like,
Yeah.
oh, absolutely. Then I'm motivated. Oh yeah.
So
then
you're
I
a different
want to do
man
this.
if that woman shows up the same way.
Absolutely. And like it's even
So why are you
more-
entertaining the women that you don't want to pull up on?
Because in my lifetime, I haven't had a lot of women to entertain.
And so what do you mean by that? Can you go a little deeper?
Because growing up, I wasn't the dude you wanted to date. Like I was the dude that got passed over, that nobody was checking for. And ultimately it got to the point where like the kind of woman I could attract would be the determinant for my self-worth and what I could bring in. So if I'm not bringing in nobody, I'm not worth shit. And so if I could have a woman that not only looks good, but has her own and is cool, then it's like, that means something.
So y'all had sex. Was it good?
More than once, and yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Gives another dynamic to the whole story.
Wait, hold on now. Wait. First of all, I'm done with you. You had sex with her twice?
Three
Is
times.
is she
three.
stupid because like you fucking this dude? I can't. I'm done with you.
So
but
it was good, and we non-verbally sort of agreed like this was it. We were good. She seemed okay when she left the house, and I left, and then I kind
and
of.
so y'all never spoke after that.
And I went.
Putting a Band-Aid on a heart attack. It doesn't
I
work.
went to go get a sandwich.
Oh, you are a piece of shit. Actionable items.
So the actionable items that I would
Yes.
like to suggest to you, which I am happy to hear that you already evolved. So you're already in part of this process. But something I would ask you to do is to kind of look at your emotional intelligence and also the background, your background. Where are you still hurt? Either if it's from women that you dated, maybe your upbringing, whatever in that background, if you cannot take the time and heal that, how are you going to move forward? You're going to keep moving forward hurt. So I would really say to you, take a look at your history, your past trajectory, and go, okay, maybe I could have handled this differently. Oh, in my childhood, this is what hurts me, and they said this, and that's what's brought up here.
And stop dating till you have money, honey. We live in New York City.
Yeah, no.
You ain't got no money, don't be out here. And I guess we're good to go here. It was good to talk to you. Listen, I love always talking to you. Get it together, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it.
Yes,
And scene.